Hey everyone, welcome back to Harry GFM here on YouTube. Today I'm going to be giving my review and opinion on the Audio-Technica AT2020 microphone. The Audio-Technica AT2020 is a cardioid condenser microphone, meaning from your interface you do require 48 volts of phantom power. Now this is the white version of the AT2020, it also comes in black and USB. This is the Xlr version, meaning it needs to go from a physical Xlr connection into an interface to take it into your computer, as opposed to the USB version which plugs from the microphone into your computer by a USB cable. Right now, as I'm recording this video, this microphone goes for $139 in Australia, dollary dues, Australian dollars here in Australia. The benefits of an Xlr microphone is much higher quality than you would get with the same microphone from a USB cable. For me right now, I'm using a Tascam 4x4 with one end of the Xlr cable going to the mic, the other end going into the first channel of the interface, with 48 volts phantom power turned on, and I've got the gain set to about 2 o'clock. This is currently complete raw sound from the microphone. I've not added any filters, any effects to the sound. You're hearing it right out of the box through the interface into the computer. For me, when I opened up the box, what I found was this little foam insert which was housing the microphone. That's really dark. But yeah, it's got a cutout for the microphone in there, and that's what the microphone was sitting in. Everything was nicely packaged. It also came with an instruction manual that I haven't even taken out of the box. Included was also this very nice Audio-Technica carry bag to travel with your microphone. It's nicely padded and soft. Obviously, the microphone was in that first foam block I mentioned first, and then the other thing in the package was just this adapter for a stand. Although you obviously will get different results from your microphone depending on how far away you speak into it, the kind of arm or stand you use, and the placement and the environment of your room. All things can vary to the sound you get out of your microphone, including just the way your voice sounds. This might be the microphone for one person's voice, but not another person's voice. Something I recommend when getting good quality audio is don't worry about having your microphone in frame. For me, even though this is a condenser microphone and I could put it further away and turn up the gain, more so than a dynamic microphone, it still is better. You get better and warmer sound, more like that radio kind of voice when you do have it closer to your mouth like I have here. That's where I recommend going and getting something like a boom arm stand. This one's something like $15 on Amazon, really cheap. I'll put a link in the description. The microphone is also a really good build quality, made out of solid metal and just feels really nicely put together. The only complaint I have about this microphone is it's lacking internal pop filter. I don't even know if it has one or if it doesn't, but it's not very good at rejecting plosives, which is P's, B's, K, anything where you release air from your mouth. I'm currently talking across the grill of the microphone to avoid things like that. You can also use things like a pop filter or a windshield. So if I put this over here, this one isn't a perfect fit. Half of the microphone is still visible, but it would make a difference in rejecting plosives. Or you can do what I'm doing and it doesn't sound too bad talking across the grill. Obviously when I talk into the grill, that's when you get even more so of a radio voice that you might be going for. But then if I start using plosives, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, please pizza, Piper, pickled pepperonis, potatoes, you really do hear that p. You hear the air releasing from my mouth, which isn't a problem because you can, like I said, do something like a windshield, and I'll demonstrate with this one right now. This windshield isn't the perfect example because it doesn't cover up the whole microphone, but now I'll do the same test. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked, I don't know how it goes, but something like that. Pizza, pepperonis, pizza, push bikes, cake, pizza, pepperonis, Peter Piper. As you can see, it does a much better job than when I remove it. Pepperonis, pizza, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Pickled? You can definitely see the difference in how it rejects those plosives with and without a windshield. Now, if you're using this for something like streaming, playing games, or even just a Zoom call, you probably may be wondering how this does at rejecting background noise like clicking and keyboard clacking, or even, can you hear my fan in the background? It's likely that you can, because with condenser microphones, they pick up more of everything happening in the room. A dynamic microphone usually picks up more of what's just in front of you. This condenser microphone could be picking up lots of what's happening around me isn't too bad of a deal because this room is relatively well sound treated, but not every room is, and even this room isn't perfect. So you can probably hear the fan, you can probably hear my chair every now and then, and things like that. Let's do a test typing on the keyboard and seeing how much keyboard noise it picks up. So I'm going to talk at the same time as I talk on the keyboard, just as I would be talking on Zoom or something, or talking on a YouTube channel and, doing a recording. And I'm currently just typing at a normal pace, and I'll do some clicking for you as well. And we'll see how much came through compared to how much of my voice comes through. Now I'll do it again, just typing. There you go. What I'll do now is I'll walk away from the microphone and we'll see how far away it picks me up at a reasonable level. I'm walking away, walking back, and I'll just slowly get up and walk away from the microphone, and we'll see how far I can get back. As you can see, my voice has dropped off a lot. Kind of sounds like I'm across the hall from you, talking out. I'll take off my headphones, keep walking away till I'm all the way at the back of the room, as far back as I can go. We'll see how it sounds then. Obviously, in a situation where you do want to stand further away from the microphone, you turn up your gain a bit. So I'm going to walk back a bit as far as my headphones will let me, and we'll see how good of a microphone it is at hearing you from a distance. I've currently got the gain set to about 90%, and I'm about as far away from the microphone as I can get with the limitations of the room. The gain is now set to 100%, and I'm as far away as I can get with the limitations of this room. As you can see, it does a pretty bad job at rejecting the noise from my fan, the noise from the room, and I sound really echoey. More so than I do in the actual room, which is quite interesting. Alright, back to a normal speaking distance. I'm about a hand length away from the microphone, talking directly into it from right in front of it. Once again, gain about 2 o'clock. And I know I'm going from percent to 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, whatever. Just makes more sense to me. Yeah, this is most likely how you would intend to use the microphone and the kind of sound you would get out of it. And there it is, playing some music. Now you may ask, would I recommend this microphone for you to go out and buy right now? After using it for quite some time now, for spoken word, and if you're just going to talk into it for narration, whether it be for a live stream, for video making, for Zoom calls, this is an awesome microphone if you set it up properly, and which is really easy to do with this. It's an awesome microphone for that. Vocals, I'd say go ahead. I don't think it is the best idea for just if you're a musician wanting to record an amp. There are probably better microphones for that purpose, but it does work for that purpose. It does the job. So if it's the only one you got left lying around and you need to mic up one more amp and this is the only thing you got left, it will do the job. I think it does it quite well. And for spoken word, for the price, I reckon it does a fantastic job. And for a budget microphone, it really is one of the good ways to go. Although the one thing I will say is look into dynamic microphones. If your setup is a bit echoey and doesn't, you're in a new house or a garage or somewhere with a lot of echo in the room, a condenser microphone might not work the best, because especially if you're in a noisy environment, you got a loud keyboard, your kids are out the back making noise, then maybe you'd want to look into one that you sit here, a dynamic microphone that will only pick up what's right in front of it and less so of the background noise, which means it doesn't require phantom power, but it has a lot quieter of a signal. Maybe look into some microphones like that, dynamic microphones. I might do a video on some more dynamic microphone alternatives in the future, but if you're in a reasonably quiet environment, it's not too echoey like a garage, then I would absolutely recommend this microphone for spoken word, narration, singing, anything like that. It does a great job for the price. AT2020, I've been Harry Green from Harry GFM, signing off.